Phala Phala farm scandal has been placed at the centre of arguments against the suspension of Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Now, she's told the High Court in the Western Cape that President Cyril Ramaphosa acted in retaliation after her office launched an investigation into the millions stolen from his Limpopo farm. Mkhwebane was back in court for a fourth time in 2 years today. And ENCA reporter Lindsay Dentlinger following that story and joins us now. So, Lindsay, there's so much going on around the Public Protector. It's quite hard to keep track. So this is while the parliamentary hearings into her possible impeachment have already begun. She's challenging the president's decision to suspend her. So please explain how this Phala Phala farm scandal has come to take centre stage in this matter.
Sally, it all dates back to that original argument that the president is a conflicted person, and even though the Constitution gives him the rights to suspend the Public Protector, that in this case the Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane arguing that he is just too conflicted. 6 investigations being conducted by the Office of the Public Protector, the biggest of which, and which Limpopo on behalf of the Public Protector has told this court today, is the biggest conflict of all. And Sally, so much of these ongoing proceedings have to do about timing. And in the Phala Phala case, this too is about timing. You will recall that in Parliament, the President was answering questions during his budget vote debate about Phala Phala, or rather ignoring those questions being asked by the opposition, and then notifying the public that he is suspending the Public Protector, and then just hours later we hear that this very court was going to deliver a judgment in that in a previous matter related to these impeachment inquiries. So it's all got to do with the timing, and Limpopo telling this court today that because the president was then going to become the subject of yet another investigation, this time the Phala Phala investigation, this was him hitting back at the Public Protector before waiting for this court to deliver a judgment in a previous matter on a related issue, and because this is by far the biggest investigation that the Public Protector's Office is carrying out against him. But I should also point out that the counsel for the President, from whom we expect to hear arguments tomorrow, telling this court that the President was not opposed to providing the answers that he's given the Public Protector's Office to this court, but that effectively he has been gagged by the acting Public Protector so as not to compromise that investigation that court has been carrying, that office is carrying out. But here's Limpopo on that score before the court earlier today.
It says firstly in the papers, I don't know what the fuss is about. I have fully cooperated with every investigation. Where? Firstly, he's given to respond. He says no, he's exceptionally busy. Exceptionally busy. In that period where he's exceptionally busy, he hosts an Ankole sale farm, auction on the 18th. This is remember he got the letter on the 8th. More than 20 days later, in the period of exceptional business, where he can't attend to 31 questions about something that happened 2 years ago, he does that. And then he's given not the 7-day statutory period, he's given another almost a month, just less than a month. He doesn't meet that deadline. Again, exceptionally busy, until he's threatened with a subpoena.
I mean, there's a lot going on. In fact, I was just reading through the media release from the Department of Justice, and this relates, of course, to what's going on between Namibia and South Africa regarding whether there was or wasn't request for assistance. But I know that you haven't been focusing directly on that, so I'm not going to ask you to comment specifically on that issue. But there really is a lot at play at this point. And talk to me as well about where we're at with the parliamentary impeachment hearings. Mpofu taking a swipe at that process. Am I correct that it's not happening this week because of the court case?
Yes, Sally, so at least for the first 2 days, at least Monday and Tuesday of this week, it was an announcement and an agreement reached by Parliament and Busisiwe Mkhwebane's legal team last week already that they would put matters on hold last week Wednesday until this week Wednesday to allow this process to unfold. We are yet to get confirmation that it will indeed continue on Wednesday, but certainly that's where it was left in Parliament last week, that it would continue on Wednesday with further witness testimony. But again, Sally, again, the issue of timing, Dali Mpofu questioning the way that committee was established and the way it is conducting its work, and whether all an issue of whether it has the locus standi to conduct these proceedings that it is doing so at the moment. He has argued before this court that this is not a dismissal committee, which is what we well know. The committee has repeatedly said it is one basically to determine whether the National Assembly should consider dismissing the Public Protector, but that's part of Dali Mpofu's argument that the President can only suspend the Public Protector if she has been found guilty of some type of wrongdoing, and that is what his argument has been in Parliament. It is again his argument here in court that the President has acted prematurely. The Public Protector has not been found wanting on any score. Parliament is merely conducting an investigation based on prima facie evidence put before it from an independent panel, and that it is nowhere at a place where it can consider dismissing the Public Protector, and his argument being that the President can only really consider whether or not to suspend her if she has been found guilty of some type of wrongdoing, and if her future as the Public Protector is in the balance in terms of a recommendation being made that she should be removed, and that we are nowhere at that point. And so the President, besides the major issue of conflict of interest that they are arguing, has just been too premature in taking that decision to suspend her while these proceedings are still ongoing. But here's Dali Mpofu again.
This court case is about one thing only. The conduct of the President, in particular, in abdicating his powers, passing the buck to the Speaker, acting in the way that we have catalogued in respect of the interpretation point only. Is it consistent with the Constitution? And is that, objectively speaking now, is that interpretation correct? Yes or no? Is the committee a removal committee, and has the time come? If it did, when did it come? Put that aside. Assume we are wrong. Then President Ramaphosa, faced with 6 investigations, all of which relate to impeachable offences, including the one that is brewing up now. Can he, by any stretch of the imagination, be permitted, in the face of Section 96(2) of the Constitution, which says you mustn't, even the risk of a conflict, you must avoid? Can he be the person? The answer again is a big no.
Okay, Lindsay, the other issue is that before today's adjournment, obviously to allow for this court case, Parliament's been responding to some of the arguments made by the Public Protector. What have we heard?
So Advocate Breitenbach, who's representing both the National Assembly Speaker and the chairperson of the Section 194 committee, telling this court essentially late this afternoon that he feels like it's Groundhog Day. Sally, as you pointed out in your introduction there, this is the 4th time we are here on matters related to the impeachment proceedings, even if there are tiny changes to what the court is being asked, and in this case it's got to do with the suspension of the Public Protector. But Andrew Breitenbach again telling the court that the National Assembly Speaker, in Parliament's view, did nothing untoward by informing the President that Parliament was starting on these proceedings, and that there is a relationship between Parliament and the Executive. It was merely a letter informing him of the facts. She did not do anything to trigger the suspension, to use the words that we hear repeatedly from the Public Protector's legal team. She did not suggest that the Public Protector be suspended, and she in no way influenced the President's decision on this score, because it has been the argument of Dali Mpofu about the timing as to why, if the President was considering suspending the Public Protector, did he not do so 2 years ago when Parliament first initiated this entire process. And so Andrew Breitenbach saying by bringing the Speaker and spending public money back in this court for the fourth time, that he wants this court to consider to slap a punitive cost order on the Public Protector, that she pay for these proceedings here today in her personal capacity and no longer continue to use taxpayers' money and through the Office of the Public Protector, whom we know her deputy has already indicated to this court that it would no longer be paying for proceedings, and she would have to do so in her personal capacity. But Parliament's legal team also asking that she pay their legal costs in her personal capacity, Sally.
All right, well, thank you very much. Update on the court case. Of course, the Public Protector is challenging her suspension in court. Thank you so much, Lindsay Dentlinger in Cape Town. Still to come on SA Tonight.